Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to THFC Till I Die with myself, DERMOTRON, and my co-host, Queen Ellie Hoybier. Look, very quickly before I get to you, Ellie, I've got something of a clear up a little bit of a misunderstanding. Now, I went on to Dave's the Irish HOTSPURS fan show last night to give my thoughts on the game, give my angry thoughts on the performance that wasn't brilliant by certain individuals that keep making mistakes again and again and again. But we will get into that in a minute. And I said last night, Ellie, that POCH was a failure. Now, can I just clear all this up, right? Because I've got some people in Dave's chat going, what are you talking about?
You got some hate mail.
Well, no, are you off your head? Right. I've got a few people going, it's just like for real. Right. Can I just get one thing right? For me, it was his tactical nous that he wasn't tactically. He made mistakes tactically in the big games that we like in the FA Cup semi-finals, the Champions League final. He wasn't a failure as a failure in the manager. Why I said it was a failure, it was more of a failure in his tactics. If he was backed, I'm sure he would have been successful with us. He actually made one of the most exciting teams we've had in generations at Tottenham Hotspur. But I always felt he was tactically a little bit naive.
Tactically inept?
No, tactically naive. And I think that's when a good second in command is always somebody that's experienced, been there, could have advised them, well, this is what I would do. So so that's all cleared up. So can I just clear it up? He wasn't a failure. He was a failure in his tactics in some of the big games. So let's put that to bed. So I'm glad I've got a chance to clear that up. Ellie,
got that off your chest.
I've got that.
I'm really well. I'm really well. I was at the match yesterday.
I'm actually surprised you're well, Ellie. You've just lost your job as Prime Minister, as we were quoting that.
I know.
So I'm sorry about you losing your job.
I'll be second in charge.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you were at the women's game Saturday. Sorry to interrupt you, Ellie.
No, it's all right. I'll be second in charge. I was at the women's game on Saturday, the men's game on Sunday. We lost both games. The women lost 3-0, the men lost 2-1. So it's not been a very great weekend. And I've got those Monday morning blues.
Yeah, it is.
I'm trying to put a positive spin on it because there's more things to worry about, you know.
There is, yes, there is. There's likes of me making a complete each of myself saying the watch was a failure. That's one. There's I don't know. There's loads of other things we'd like to talk about, but particularly we can. But on the 17th we will, because on the charity stream we're going to have an hour of political talk, our political values and what we think, and we're going to turn it into a bit of a joke, into a bit of a comedy sketch. So that will be coming on Sunday. More about that later. Anyway, big up Chris. He says big up everyone, and Lisa. Big up Lisa. Always tuned in,
Lisa. So, come on.
Look, we were at 700. We've dipped under 700. So by the end of this stream, can we please get back over 700, and we'll be very grateful. If we do that, Ellie will sing Glory, Glory Tottenham Hotspur, or she'll do the match of the day theme at the end of every show if we can get over 700.
Whatever they request, I'll sing.
And Baba THFC. And Baba THFC, big up everyone, big up Baba.
Big up everyone.
Good to see you in the chat. Yeah. One since I've seen Vanessa. Right, Ellie. This is THFC Till I Die Newsbeat, where we get all the latest news from Spurs. It's a bit of a twist in it today because we're going to do a bit of news, but also Ellie sent me a load of questions which we want you, the people in the comments, to get involved with.
Yeah.
Or leave your remarks if you're watching this as a playback. It's about the owners. Look, my view on Levy is, look, we'll always, as a channel as well, and Ellie will back me up in this. Ellie's the same. We're always going to give him this season, what we was like in the January and in the summer windows. Look, people will never be happy with owners, Ellie. You look at clubs all around the Premier League. Fans will always criticise owners. It's like having gravy on your roast dinner. It goes hand in hand.
Listen, the bigger the fish, yeah. We're a big fish in a big pond, right? So we've got to look at where our finances at, yeah. Where what we can spend so we don't make the club bankrupt, and where we can draw money from, because there's always money to draw from. Whatever you are, it could be from their own pockets if they want to put it in. But traditionally, most clubs don't. Most chairmen, I would say, don't dip into their own pockets. It's not rare. It's not rare, but it does happen. But it doesn't happen where you get the big fish. No. They use other people's money. That's what rich people do.
Yeah. You look at Blackburn back in the 90s, Ellie, Jack Walker, he put his own money into Blackburn and they bought the Premier League. Every team that wins the Premier League, you can sort of say they've bought it for the money they've spent on players. Yeah. Chelsea, the same. Liverpool, the same. But with us, I think where some of the fans get angry is, we've got a great stadium. We have a great training ground. We have great facilities.
But we haven't got a great team.
But on the flip side of that is, look, we're third in the league. This was only our 4th defeat in the whole season. 3 in the Premier League, 1 in the Champions League. CONTE is a class manager. He came in last season in November time. We had no right to get top 4, but we did. Yeah. By luck.
I think we did have a right to get top 4 because we were playing some nice football last year, much better than this year. I enjoyed our football last year. I really did.
Ellie, look, to be honest,
that Leeds performance, I love the Leeds performance.
I mean, to be lucky, Ellie, we were lucky to get top 4 because at one stage we weren't getting it. Now, it was Arsenal dropped off. We had results go our way and we beat the teams we had to beat to get top 4.
But so, Dermot, do you think that we made our own luck because we won our games? Like we beat Arsenal, we could have easily lost or drawn, but we applied ourselves. When the going got tough, the tough got going. And you see the players who got going were the ones that we can rely on this season. The ones who let us down this season, let us down a lot last season as well, in terms of getting us over the line a lot quicker. Because we could have got there. We could have got there a lot quicker. That's all I'm saying. Because we didn't have to rely on Arsenal. Our destiny is in our own hands.
Yeah. Well, look,
not in Arsenal's hands.
Yeah, but Arsenal and Newcastle did us a favour by beating Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with
you. Yeah, hang on. Just let me. We beat who we had to beat. I agree with you, and you're right on that. Beat who we had to beat last season. We won on an amazing run where we're knocking goals past teams left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
Could we have done that with any other manager? I don't think so. I think that was a CONTE effect.
No.
But also, we needed other teams to dip in form, which did happen as well. So Arsenal did. Yeah. Arsenal lost to Newcastle. So in ways, you had to have luck for you, and you had to have luck go your way. But look, we got there. We started this season the football hasn't been great to watch. We all agree that. There will be different divides. It's boring. It's not. We're picking up points when we're playing bad. That's a debate in itself.
Yeah.
What gets me, and even after yesterday's performance, Ellie, and you went to the game, so you would have a different view in this. It's the same players letting us down again and again and again. For me personally, I think we missed Højbjerg in the midfield yesterday. That's my own personal opinion.
Yeah. Well, I'll agree with you there because I'm ELLY Højbjerg, aren't I? So I'm not going to go against that.
we're both big Højbjerg fans in this channel. You know I am as well as you are. We're all big. But you look at Hugo, again, distribution with his feet, goddamn awful. Dyer, the pass back to Hugo, they went flying past him out for a corner. Again, another mistake. Sanchez, I call them Bambi on ice. You call them something else yesterday, which really made me laugh last night. I can't remember for the fucking love of me what you call them, but it was hilarious.
On my fan cam.
Yeah.
On my fan cam, I
forget what it was, but it was funny.
You know what? I'll send it to you again so that you can remind yourself.
We will put
I don't want to say it on there because I want people to watch it and get,
Yeah.
you know, get the
We'll
full
put it.
Ellie
We'll put it on. You send it.
report.
Yeah. We will put it up on our channel. And there's a load of videos
Yeah,
Ellie
put it
took
up.
yesterday.
It's
That
a
will
very
be
good one.
that Ellie we will be putting up on the channel later of Ellie's day trip to White Hart Lane yesterday.
Yeah.
But you know, Dyer, Sanchez, Doherty, Basuma, right? There's four. There's four already, okay?
Yeah.
None
They're all
of them.
poor footballers.
Yeah.
Not one of them could say they're a proper footballer.
I think one thing, Ellie.
Not one of them.
Emerson, for me, had a good game yesterday.
He's an athlete. He's an athlete, Emerson. He can get there. He's got all the attributes to get there. But once he gets there, doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, but
he didn't have a stinker of a match. Honestly, he didn't have a stinker of a match. He done some good things like he normally does, but he just doesn't have that. You know, a right wing back is supposed to be able to cross. That's the one thing that he's got to do, and he can't cross. Nor can Cess. He's not as bad as Emerson at crossing, but he can't really cross. And the one that can cross, Perisic, we kept on the bench. He brought him on too late to affect the game. So sometimes Conte does wrong things, but I don't want to call him out because at the end of the day, it's the players' responsibilities, the first 11 that he picks, to get ourselves over the line before we even have to call on the 33-year-old guy to come on. Nothing
Ellie,
against his age, but he has slowed down. You can tell.
One thing that was gloriously yesterday, if you take out Romero, Højbjerg, Kulusevski.
That's the fine of our team and the creativity in our team.
Yeah, hang on. If you take out them three, Ellie, you got Bentancur in there. I thought had a good game yesterday. Bentancur, I mean, he always does his best. But if you got the likes of Sanchez, Dyer, Doherty, Sessi, you can really see Sega's on as well. Where do you and Hugo? Where do you think we're going wrong as a team? Is it? I said in the My Fan Cam on Dave's yesterday, it was communication from the goalkeeper to the back three to the midfield. Do you feel it's a lack of communication? I've seen people saying we've got no leaders in our team. Do you feel we're missing something we're missing leaders in the team, which we've had in the past? What do you put your finger on what's going wrong within the team at the moment?
There's a lot of things going on, Rob. Do you want me to put my finger on one thing or two or three things? Because I can name a lot.
Yeah, do that.
Right.
Ellie.
So I think the main problem is that the footballers that we got are not ballers. The only ones that we've got are ballers is Bentancur, Kane, and Kulu. They're the three ballers. So that means we've got 8 who are not. Right. Take out Lloris, we've got 7 because you can't class Lloris as a baller because he can't bloody pass anyway. He's really bad with his feet. Right. So we've got 3. If we had 2 more ballers in the team who can actually hold the ball, pick out a pass, just like Kane, then he can concentrate on scoring more because he's already scored quite a few, but he'd score a lot more because we'd create a lot more. Yeah. And then you've got Sonny. Sonny is not a baller. He's more of an exciting player. He's a dribbler, more as a dribbler. Yeah, he can run at players, exciting to watch, but he's not a baller. He can't control it like Kane. He can't control it like Kulu. He's not intelligent like them. You know, they're intelligent footballers. And the other big reason I personally think is because we haven't got an identity. We haven't got an identity. We're playing differently every single game. We should have some, like, if we're going to play the soak up the pressure, hit them on the break type of football, do that. But don't mix and match it. Just keep to one system, right? And then if that doesn't work, then mix it up. Yeah, because
But
what we're doing, we're seeing a lot of fractured football in one game. Too fractured. You don't know what you're going to get when you
no,
watch Tottenham. You know, and the mistakes that we're making as well, they're horrendous. Really horrendous mistakes. I mean,
that's my
Lloris
point.
yesterday, he was terrible. He was terrible, but give him his dues. He's been good this season. It's just his kicking can put us into trouble, and his recklessness when he comes out. And we've seen it in the past, and he sort of stamped it out for quite a while, and now he's bringing it back into his game again. He's coming off his line. He doesn't need to. Let your defenders deal with it.
So what do you do, Ellie? What would you do at the end? Look, I would love to have Bazzuno in the Southampton goalkeeper, our goalkeeper. His distribution is world class, and Dave and Philip and Ollie would back me up on that.
Yeah,
Who would you bring in? Who would you go for in the summer? There's been calls for Dean Henderson. I'm calling for Bazzuno. Who would you go for? He's got a year left in his contract, I think, at the end of next season.
Yeah.
What do you do about the goalkeeping situation?
Because I think Lloris will be with us next season as well, do you know? Because I think Lloris, right, I'm not on the fence with him. I love him because he's Spurs through and through, and he's passionate about Spurs. You know, when he made that outburst at the Dynamo Zagreb game, I was applauding him for making that. But then you've got to stand up and be counted and be a leader on the pitch. And leaders on the pitch don't do that. They don't make those horrendous mistakes. And you've got to forgive him for his kicking because he's not good at kicking. He can't change that. That's part of his DNA. He just can't do any better, right? Honestly, they've probably worked on him. What I would say is throw it out, Lloris, rather than kick. Or where you can throw it out.
But Ellie, what I
I've
asked you
seen
was,
him throw it out and be better.
Yeah, what I asked you was, Ellie, who would you replace him with? Who would you bring in to replace him with?
Yeah. I'm sorry I went with Lloris. Yeah, I would replace him with Bazzuno because I've heard his name bandied around before, but since you've been saying Bazzuno, I've looked him up, right? I looked him up before, but I've looked him up more like I'm scouting him, because I like doing a bit of scouting, right? And what I've seen is very, very impressive, both for Ireland and his club. He played against us when we beat them 4-1, and he made some really good. If it wasn't for their bad defensive errors, we were good that day. We were very good that day. But yeah, I would like him over Henderson, and I'll tell you why. He's more of a modern goalie. He's got more years in him, and we can nurture him. Even Lloris, if he stays on as a goalkeeping coach, but not on the kicking side, because Bazzuno could teach him. He's not going to teach him anything on the kicking side.
Do you remember back in the day when centre-backs used to take the goal kicks for the goalkeepers back in the day?
Yeah.
The
goalies used to have,
Yeah.
I'm saying the goalies used to be able to pick it up and bounce it about 20 times and then kick it out. But now they've got to be really good with their feet. And so he's a bit of a dinosaur, isn't he, Lloris? He's not of that. He's not of that ilk. He's not of that era, So he's finding it difficult. But one thing he's brilliant at is shot stopping. I don't think anybody else in the Premiership is as good on the high ones, especially, and the really, really low ones into the corner. He's very athletic. He's slim as well, so he's got that athleticism to recover that better than a lot of the goalies in the Premiership. And his actual record for letting in goals has been up there with the very best in comparison to where we finished in the league. So I can forgive him his kicking, but I think one more season and then send him back to Nice because it's very nice there because I've been there. Nice, Nice is very nice.
Listen, we will end up back on that match yesterday, but we've got
Sorry,
some
Laurie, if you're listening. Next time, send him back to a lovely place.
But look, if he was watching this, Ellie, that would be unreal. But look, this is Newsbeat. This is new THFC for the news all around Tottenham Hotspur. So let's crack on with it, Ellie. We're going to start with Christmas fixtures because they have been announced today, and there has been some time changes as well for Spurs' match over Christmas. The game against away to Brentford on St Stephen's Day, which is Boxing Day in the UK, is now a 12:30 kickoff.
Yeah, you know why they've done 12:30 kickoff? Because they've seen the stats for Spurs at 12:30 and we hardly ever win. That's David Dean probably, little skank.
And then on New Year's Day, we're home to Aston Villa. That's a 2 o'clock kickoff. And then 3 days later, we're away at Selhurst Park away to Crystal Palace. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Then we've got Arsenal at home on the 14th of Jan. And then the last game in January is a 3 o'clock kickoff on the 21st of January. So that's the sort of fixtures for Christmas and January. So any games in there you think I'm a bit iffy about? I mean, we've got Brentford away, Villa at home, Palace away, Arsenal at home, Fulham away, and then we start off February then with Man City at home, Leicester away on the 11th. On the 18th, the game I'm going to because I can't wait to go over. It's Saturday. It's 3 o'clock at home to West Ham United. So and then on the 25th of February, we're home to Chelsea. Them lot of fixtures, Ellie. How do you do?
I'm frightened of all of them because you know what though. If you look at the start of the season, they gave us all the teams we had bad results against. Like David on the Irish Hotspur is sabotaging us. They tried to sabotage, but we came out smelling of roses, didn't we? Right? Because we reversed all the fixtures except for the Arsenal one. We lost the same amount, 3-1. Yeah, so it wasn't any different, right? But all the other results. Now we've just played Man United. We lost to them anyway, didn't we? Twice last season, and then we beat Newcastle home and away. So the only one that's changed is the Newcastle game in my book because they've beaten us. So now they're giving us teams that we didn't do very well against as well, but we did well against Arsenal at home, right? And we've got Leeds at home. We've done well against because we beat them 2-1. I remember that game very well because I'd broken my foot. And there's other. Do you know what? As long as we strengthen in January, Kulu's playing because he is a big factor. I don't care what anybody says. He is a big factor why our players gone downhill. Right? When he plays, we play better because he knows how to keep the ball. He knows how to bring players into play. He's got a fantastic vision. He's got a beautiful left foot. He can cross the ball. What more do you want? If that's missing from your team, and then you've got the shithousery of Richarlison on the other side, we're playing him out of position, but that's another show. Story. That's another show. Yeah. But there's certain things that are going wrong for us that we didn't want to go wrong. There's players that have stepped up and there's players that have regressed. Like Dyer. He's always been pretty average. He's not been a star player of ours any year. And I don't care what other fans say, he hasn't been a star player. Come on.
So Ellie, just to bring you back to the fixtures, Chelsea at home, West Ham at home, Leicester away, Man City at home, that's February, then Fulham away, Arsenal at home, Palace away, Villa at home. And then Brentford away.
There's two teams that have dropped off, Brentford and Palace.
Yeah. Is there any fixtures in there that you really worry about?
Chelsea at home. Yeah, always worried about Chelsea because they always step up their bloody game against us. They play their worldie. They can play really rubbish one week and then they'll play Spurs and they'll play out of their skins.
That's so true.
Right? They do. Right? And the other one, I would say, Leeds United at home.
When we got Leeds at home, we have Leeds at home.
The one before the World Cup starts. Because they'll be gutted for us. We battered them twice last season, and we battered we battered Newcastle at home 5-1 and we beat them 3-2 away. So I'm scared about that one because I think these teams have got a vendetta, so a point to prove against us. So we've got to be on our guard just before the World Cup.
These are the games we've got now before the World Cup break.
I'm not scared of Arsenal.
No,
not scared of Arsenal.
Don't beat that South London mob.
We'll raise our game against them.
These are the fixtures we've got now before the World Cup break. We've got home at Sporting Lisbon, of course, on Wednesday, where we're doing the pre-match build up for that tomorrow night, and we've got the watch along on Wednesday, the post-match on Thursday.
Good.
Then on Saturday we have Bournemouth at home, away to Bournemouth. We'll be doing the watch along for that as well. Then we're away then to Olympique Marseille in the last group game. So that shows how important Wednesday
that one worries me. That one worries me because of their hostile crowd. But I think we can get through that one. I think we'll get a draw on that one.
If we get a result on Wednesday and results go away, I think that last game won't mean an awful lot. So I think we've got to get a result on Wednesday. Then we're home to Liverpool, which is a big 6-pointer. We've got to get results against Liverpool.
Yeah, we'll raise that game for that one as well.
Then we're away to Forest in the League Cup, which I think we will win, and I think Spence will get a start for that game. Our last game before the World Cup is at home to Leeds United. Look, Ellie, to be honest with you, I think they're winnable games. The other game that worries me is the Olympique Marseille game away. That worries me because of the atmosphere and the players like Davis and Dyer and saying, oh, we're going to a big atmosphere. Oh, dear, I can't go out there. I'm so scared. Let me get my dummy and my rattle out. Believe me, Ellie's probably played in hostiler places than they haven't. We've got pictures.
West Ham, especially.
Yeah, don't get me started on that lot. So the only game that Liverpool we should get result with, we should beat Forest away quite constantly because Forest for me there's an example, right? We're sort of going on now to the transfer side of the news, and there's no news on the transfer, but I just want to go in this way with you, Ellie. You look at Nottingham Forest, right? They've bought 20 players in. Their manager doesn't even know what his best side is with 20 players brought in.
Yeah.
You look at Forest, you look at us, and I feel sorry for Conte. We've got an injury crisis at the moment. Well, not an injury crisis, we've got certain players injured. The backup players are letting us down. So if you look at other teams around, like Forest, Ellie, like other teams, do you think we're not as bad as some fans are making us out to be?
No, because I saw a lot of positives yesterday. The way fans are talking, it's like we play total crap. After the game, right, because I couldn't see the first half because I forgot to take my glasses. I couldn't see up what we created. And I was looking up on the ball.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at the point that you couldn't see. Bless you. I've done that before.
I was excited and I forgot my glasses because I like to see what's happening, and I have to rely on the guy next to me to tell me, because when they show the replays back, sometimes if it's a shot that went close, they'll show it, but if it's just the normal thing and it goes off, they don't show it. So I watched the highlights on Match of the Day, right, and we done some really nice passing in that first half, really crisp, fast passing, and I liked it. I liked what I saw. Right, so it wasn't all doom and gloom, and it wasn't all crap. But the thing that I was most disappointed in is our aggression and our energy levels didn't stay up that high. They dropped off, and then Newcastle saw that and they took advantage, and they were winning the first. They weren't winning the first ball; they were winning the second ball, and their hunger for that second ball was more than ours. That's what I was more disappointed in. But I was very happy with the way we were passing in that first half. Apart from Dyer, who done a stupid, what an idiot. Right, but, that's Dyer for you. He can't pass the ball. He can't. I mean, against Man United, he 4 yards to, I think it was Doherty or Emerson, one of the two. Not Emerson, sorry, Doherty. And he couldn't pass it. He passed it off the pitch, Dermot. 4 yards. That's not a footballer to me.
No.
You imagine Bill Nicholson, what he would have said to him.
I know.
He would have
And
sacked him. He would have
also,
sacked him that day. He would have sacked him.
also, it was the anniversary of Bill Nick's passing as well the weekend.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
read
gosh.
somewhere on Twitter, there was nothing in the program, no black armbands. I forget who said it, and I actually really agree with what they're saying. Who said
Disgusting.
it? I think it was Brian Daigle that said it. And that's one of the things I really agree with Brian when it comes to chasing our
Disgraceful.
path. Brian said, and it's absolutely spang on the money, because the club should have done something over the weekend, even if it was a minute of applause or something in the program. He was our greatest man. Keith Birkinshaw has never spoken of at the club, hardly.
Yeah.
And he was our second most successful manager after Bill Nick. Look, it is what it is, Ellie, but look, yesterday was a bad day, but onwards and upwards we go.
Yeah.
Right, I've got something to say about
all bad, though. It wasn't all bad, though. There were some really good things that I could take from the match.
Yeah. So, look, we've got to be positive as a fan base. We've got to look on the positives. Keep looking at negatives. We're just going to keep... Look, if we look at the negative side of yesterday, we're just gonna keep turning on the players. The players some players need our support right now. We've got to back this. We've got to back Conte, and that's my opinion. Ellie, look, we've got a lot of facts now coming out about Levy, the club. He's not backing the managers and something. And I put something on a group chat today, which I would like to read out to you, Ellie. And I would like to get the people's thoughts in the chat, and also your thoughts. Philip Brady's going to join us in about 10 minutes, so we'll have the Godfather's response for that.
Come on, the Godfather.
Three amigos will be joined again, and he'll be telling us this time.
I'm one of the lads, so I'm not a woman when I'm on here.
No, you're one of the Irish gang. That's what you are.
I'm the Irish lad.
Ellie, look, and this is what I put. This is what I wrote. And I haven't changed it. It's just, you can go and look in the Irish HOTSPURS chat. It is there. This is what actually I wrote. I remember a time when Nelly did not have a club, and you can remember this as well, Ellie. You can slag off every owner we've had, even back to Bill Nick's time. Birkinshaw left because of the owners, and they were interfering with his team selection. They were ringing them 40 times a day. I want this player in. I want that player in. That's why he left. Yeah. And that's heartbreaking, because we could have had a great side in the 80s with Birkinshaw.
That was Irving Scholar, I believe, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah. And Birkinshaw left because of the owners. Since then, we've never been right, and we haven't. I also put Sugar tried and failed. Levy came in money-wise. We are the best we've been on a footballing side. Yes, we need to do better. But if you look at the likes of Manchester United, Everton, you look at Leicester, you look at other clubs in the Premier League that are financially in problems at the moment and having problems. I mean, Everton had to sell Richarlison so they wouldn't fall foul of the the FPP, I think it's called, at the start of the season. And they had to sell him for the amount that we bought him, because that was what they needed. Look, be careful what you wish for. There's fans there that want Amazon to take us over. They want Google to take us over. They want, other people to take us over. You look at the Glazers. They take a dividend. And Sean, I hope you're watching. And if you are watching, Sean, please tell me if I'm wrong here, because I'm trying to get this right.
They take a dividend.
They take a dividend out of the club. Look at Old Trafford. It's fallen to bits. It really is. Yeah, we have an awful lot to be thankful for. We have an awful lot that we're not happy about. But I always said I would give them this season. I would give them this season to prove me right. And at the moment, apparently I said in the transfer window, we had a brilliant 10 out of 10 window. That's when we were buying players left, right, and centre. It did peter out before the end of the window, but it was a good window. We got players in like Longley and other players in. As for January and next summer, it's important. Ellie, look, that's what I wrote.
Yeah.
Look, I know
Yeah.
you think it's me that you're on the fence until you want to see the best for Tottenham Hotspur. There's no point complaining about owners. Am I right to say the last bit, be careful what you wish for? Because we could end up with owners that don't care about the club. All they care about is making more money for themselves. And we could end up in a situation where we could be looking back and thinking, maybe it wasn't as bad as we thought.
What I want, I'm coming at it from a different angle to you, Dermot. Right. So I grew up in a family where we were winning trophies, and I was told about our 60s team, and I was told, well, by the 70s, I was old enough to know. The 67, I was at the FA Cup final, and I can't remember much of it, just the noise and the rattles and the rosettes. Yeah, but I'm coming at it from a different angle. I'll get to the point. I want to win trophies because that's what I don't care. I do. Obviously, I care about the bank balance and how much money we make and that. But what's important to me is we win trophies, right? I'm a trophy whore, if you want to know. I love winning trophies because I love going down White Hart Lane and bibbing my hooter, flying my flag proudly that we've won something. And we've won one in 22, is it 20 years? 22 years, 22 seasons.
Well, 14 years. 14, 14
yeah, but
it's
22 years since Enoch took over. Yeah, 22 seasons.
So, Ellie, hang on, Ellie. Can I just take you on that point you made? You could say the same about Sugar. He only won one trophy in 10 years.
Yeah, but I don't care about Sugar because he's gone.
Now
the present owner.
Ellie, it's the same point I'm making. He won one trophy in 10 years. Enoch have won one trophy in 20
won two.
years. I'm not trying to get into an argument with
it
these.
Doesn't matter. Listen, we're comparing 2 to 1. Right? Manchester City won more. I mean, Liverpool won 2 last season. Yeah?
Yeah,
Put that in perspective. Put that in perspective. Manchester City have won 4 out of 5 league championships. The Premiership. We've never done that in our history. No. Right? So what I want to take over Man City's crown, knock them off their perch, and we get there. And the way we're going to get there, Levy's doing the right thing, mind you, because he's making us sustainable and he's putting us up there with the big fish so that we're ready to strike when we can buy out players. But we have to be attractive by winning things because players are trophy whores as well. Yeah, they really are. Like, why do you think Darren Bell went to Real Madrid? Why do you think Modric went to Real Madrid? It's not because they don't value Spurs. It's because they know that Real Madrid are trophy geared. They want to win trophies. We go in it half-heartedly. You know, you buy a Kulu, you buy a Richarlison, and then who do you buy? Basuma, not quite world class, but he's a good player, right? But I'll get to the point. Right, I want to win trophies. I want us to be at the top of football, so we can say we won 4 out of 5 league championships. In 5-6 years' time, we've won it. Not Manchester City. Knock them off their perch.
Yeah. Well,
they don't deserve to be there. They've got the money. Yeah. They're buying it, aren't they?
Yeah. But look, I want Tottenham to be successful as well. I wasn't trying to go down the route of saying I wanted to be successful. I remember us winning trophies as well as you do, Ellie. 2 FA Cups, FA Cup, 91 FA Cup. I just want to say a few. We've got the Sailor Man. We've got the man from the Fine Seas.
Hey, I just want to win things. I don't want all the other fans taking the mickey out of us because we haven't won anything. They say, "Oh, last time we won the league, it was in black and white."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't want to hear that.
No, Philip's putting his own front. Look. For me, I agree with everything Ellie says. I want us to be successful, but
not
Yeah, okay.
financially and winning trophies.
Yeah, Ellie, all I'm
Successfully.
going to say is be careful what you wish for. That's all I'm
I'm
going to
not
say.
wishing. I'm not wishing for anything. I'm just wishing for trophies. That's
No,
all I'm
Ellie,
wishing
what I'm
for.
saying is you could have any other owners and then maybe like the Glazers, so just be careful what you wish for. That's all I'm going to say.
I understand that. I understand that.
Look,
I
I'm the
understand
same
that
as you.
fully.
I want us. I think we should be winning trophies. I think we will win trophies this season. I don't think there's any doubt in that CONTE is going to take us to trophies this season. I think we will be successful. And once you win one, it's like a domino effect. It dominoes a lot. We win another. We win another. We win another. And I think it just needs CONTE time to get the players he wants into the team, the system formation he wants to do. And I think you watch us fly. Of what we will win the trophy.
I was encouraged by Conte's interview with the Sky lady.
Yeah, I was.
Normally I don't really watch Sky. I normally don't watch Sky because they're really anti-Spurs. But it was quite a good interview because he said there's no patience in football. He said basically he's saying there's no patience, but you've got to build. Right? So this is his project. So he knows we're not where he wants us to be. Anybody can see that. We don't need Antonio Conte to say that we're not where we want to be, right?
No,
no disrespect to him, but I know we're not where you know. So does Philip. But I just want us to get. I don't want us to get there too quickly, yeah, because I want him to build a side that we're proud of. You know, that we go to the ground and we win things in style.
Yeah.
Not just win things by breaking things.
Yeah, I just stick to my point, Ellie. You can have different owners in and have disastrous effects. Just all I'm saying is, look, I've given them this season. I will give them this season. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit on the fence and just say, look, we'll see what happens. We'll have another debate on that. I want to welcome Philip in. Philip, where are you today in the high seas?
We're about 300 miles off the coast of Canada.
Oh, okay.
We're in Halifax, Nova Scotia. We're in Halifax, Nova Scotia tomorrow. So been at sea since Friday.
Okay.
Been sailing since Friday. The weather yesterday was beautiful, but today now it's cold. So there's nobody around the pool today. So sorry I was a bit late, but I hadn't eaten for 2 hours and had to go and get some food.
That's
very nice. You have to look after your stomach.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever saw that episode of Father Ted, where Father Ted says the meals are 9, 11, 12, 1, 3, 5, and 7. If you want, was something like that on here. You know?
I was watching Dave Allen the other night, Philip and Ellie, and he was on about airplanes. And he was on about he goes onto the airplanes, right? And he says, they even bless you when you go onto the airplanes. You know, when they say put on your suit and put on the, he says, they even bless you going onto the airplane. He said, if you see one of them, he said at the time, if you see one of them sheets, with like the safety sheets, and you see little shark tails on it, you know I've been on the plane.
Yeah. Oh, he's brilliant, Dave Allen. He really was.
He's hilarious.
I still reckon the Adam and Eve joke he made about Adam and Eve is the best thing I've ever heard in my life. It is so funny. Honestly.
We'll see that one sometime.
Yeah. I will say
I tell you, it wasn't
good later, Philip. It's really funny.
Yeah.
I will.
My dad used to show me. My dad used to sit me on his knee and we used to watch Dave Allen together because I was the apple of his eye, because I'm his only daughter. I used to sit on his lap, right? And he used to show me Dave Allen all the time. And as I grew up, I understood him more, because when you're 7, 8, 9, 10, you don't really get the humour. But when you're going your teenage years and we used to watch these old shows back, then I understood what he was on about. It is so funny. It's unbelievable. He was my favourite comedian with Tommy Cooper. I love Tommy Cooper as well. The silly humour.
I want to say big up to Tom McCahan. He asked me how many years you're going to wait for Enoch to change down. Look, this is my point, Tom. Right, I'm gonna say I want my team to be successful as much as any other fan does. We're from a generation where we were waiting every morning. I was a young fan then. Ellie and Philip seen a lot more than I have,
Bit
where
older
we
than
nearly
you.
did a football club.
Yeah.
Now, let's be honest here. You could blame Sugar wasn't the great. He tried and he failed, as I put on my comment on the Irish Hotspur. Enoch money side has been brilliant, and I've already admitted that on the footballing side there has been mistakes. And yes, there has been. There's transfer windows we should have bought in. We didn't. We didn't back POCH. We didn't back managers. We chopped and changed with managers as you would go down to Sainsbury's, buying eggs and bacon or sausage for your Irish breakfast and a British breakfast in the morning. Look, I was prepared to give them a chance. They backed him somewhat in January when we got Romero and Decky in.
And Bendicourt.
He's backed them in January somewhat. We had a good window in January. And I want to see what they do this January and next summer. Conte's always said it's going to take 2 or 3 transfer windows over. But, Tom, this is my argument. You may want Levy and Enoch out. That's your opinion, and your opinion will be respected on here. We have no problems in talking about people's opinions. But be careful what you wish for. It's the same as the managers. We wanted Poch out when he wasn't doing well. We got Josie in. And then when Josie wasn't doing well, we wanted Josie out. We got Ryan Mason in, and then we got Nuno. Now we've got a world-class manager. Yeah. Some people want Conte out. Be careful what you wish for. I'm going to give
Not everybody wanted Jose out. I didn't.
No, I didn't either, Ellie, to be fair. And I don't think. Look, it's got to be. Look, just be careful what you wish for. I will give my opinion at the end of the season. I will tell you up straight where I am at the end of the season. I was going to give it this summer when Conte is there. They will have my support. You look at Alex Ferguson. He was one game away from getting the sack, and it was a wonderful win away to Nottingham Forest in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. They won that game. They won the FA Cup. They won the Cup Winners' Cup, the League Cup, and then they won the League Championship. All we need is one trophy, and then the rest will fall like dominoes. But to answer your question, Tom, I'm giving them to the end of the season. I'm prepared to play, sit in the fence, and then after the season is finished, then you will get how I feel about it. But that's how I am at the moment. Philip, thank you for joining us. Sorry about the rant. How are you after yesterday's performance? And with the breaking news we have from who gave us that breaking news now?
Oh, we've got breaking news. Lovely. Yeah.
Somebody in the chat by Jeff. Now, I don't know if this is true. I'm still trying to find out if it's true. But if he says it's true, then fair play to him. Spurs and Barca are in talks over a permanent transfer for Longley. I will give Philip. What's your first thoughts on that?
Well, after the way he was skinned by what's his name,
Almiron.
Yesterday, I say Almiron. I'd say Barcelona can keep him, but no, generally he's a good player, ball player. Yeah, as the fee isn't too much, I'd certainly take that. But there's one thing, if I could comment on, I think it's Catman Jess's comment there about Bill Nicholson not being on at the yesterday game. Would you believe that actually annoyed me more than the result of the match yesterday? I think it's absolutely disgusting that the club.
Come on.
I mean, apparently all you could hear about yesterday was this fight with Tyson Fury. That's all they're interested in promoting.
Oh, no.
This nothing to do with soccer at all. Bill Nicholson made Tottenham Hotspur, and he can't even get a mention on the anniversary of his death 18 years ago. I think it's absolutely disgusting. And somebody at that club in the PR department should be sacked over that.
Yeah.
It's really it's an insult to all the fans who've been there during Bill Nicholson's time. I feel really strongly about that. Now, it was an absolute cock up by the club.
Yeah,
one of many, obviously, but the one that really hits home to the older fans.
Yeah. It did, Philip. Yesterday, we talked about it, didn't we, Ellie? We both said it. We were disappointed by that.
Definitely.
Philip, look, what's your thoughts on these people that want Conte out and people that are not happy with the board and everything like that. I mean, where do you stand on that? Do you just give them to the end of the season, or what's your take on it all?
Can I be very frank?
Yeah.
Anybody who wants Conte out should go and see a psychiatrist. He's the best manager we've had for years. I'm sorry if I offend anybody with that, but I don't care. I don't care. We got Mourinho out. We want to POCH out. It's so plastic. You stick with the best manager you've got. He's not even there 12 months yet, and they want rid of him. Absolutely ridiculous.
I know.
Conte will deliver. It'll take him time. He will deliver. But I'll tell you, he's not even a year there. I actually, to be honest with you, and I said it on my chat on Dave's program earlier, I was worried by the look on his face yesterday. I got the feeling that Conte is thinking, maybe I've taken on a bit enough more than I can chew here. And I hope to God I'm right. But if it's for a case of sacking Conte, forget about it. But he's more likely to walk himself. That's my biggest biggest problem.
But
I don't think he's going to walk. I don't think he's going to walk. Because if you watch that Sky interview,
I hope not.
I don't know if you saw it. No, he was very positive. He said that it takes time. There's not a lot of patience in football these days, he said. And he goes, look, I feel like part of the family now. He actually said, I feel like part of the family. He goes, this is a family, and he wants us to gel. Right, he wants to bring everybody together, and then he will strike with his own team, because this is not his own team. Definitely not. He would not choose this team as his team, but he has to stick with it until January.
Yeah, that's true.
That January window, if ENIC don't back him, he will walk. I think he will walk. I'm sure he will.
Yeah,
that's
my biggest fear. I mean,
don't trust me.
And it's not just just Conte goes. Kane follows him out the door as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It's the end of our team. If Conte walks out that door, this team is finished. We're guaranteed mid-table mediocrity, if that, for the next 5 years. That's it.
Yeah.
Until somebody sees sense and actually buys the club and builds it up the way it should be. You know, okay, it's all gone quiet on the naming front. They haven't done anything in the last week about it. Are we going to get that money in?
Look, I've heard people saying it was a ruse. It was this. Look, for I've been trying to get hold of Shawnee just to get his thoughts on it. I'm just trying to hang on. Just seen something. Ellie, could you just? Sorry, I've just seen something. That I'm trying to just do something here. So Ellie, just talk about Tom's super chat with Philip there for 2 seconds.
Bill Nicholson is a great Spurs legend. I wasn't born, but it's part of our history. ENIC making a joke of our proud history. Shameful last 22 years. True. That is true. Because we've not progressed one cup in 22 years. It's disgraceful. It is. I feel sick to my stomach that Arsenal have won all these things as well. They've done the double 3 times, Arsenal. We've done it once when Bill Nicholson was in charge. So why don't we look what he did right? Yeah, I'm sure Conte is very respectful of Bill Nicholson. I'm sure he's trying to put the ethos of the club.
Of course he is,
you know, but he's just got to get his players to play a better, attractive football, because these players are not capable of it. There's only, like I said, there's only 3 ballers. We need to get more ballers in so that we can actually play the attractive football.
Yeah.
If you are enjoying what I'm saying... Sorry, Philip.
Go on, Philip.
No, go on.
Go on, Philip. Go on.
Well, anyway, the only coincidence was the day Bill Nicholson died in 2004, I think it was. We lost 2-1 at home that day as well to Bolton.
You know what I mean?
So no, I'm really annoyed at the lack of sentimentality in the club.
I know. Do you know what Steve Perelman said? He said that when he went to the club, right, he said there was no reference to Bill Nicholson. Like, he tried to raise it and he was sort of talked down. And also he said that when he goes to the club, he feels like a leper. Like he's like an outcast, that they don't accept him because he's not an ambassador, so he won't toe the club line. You see what I mean? These
Right.
things, these things, it's not good. But Steve Perriman, our most decorated player,
it's just
goes back to our club and he's treated like a leper. It's not good.
I think my issue, I've got an issue with my broadband here at the minute. So I think, you know, there's a lag on it. I think I may have to pass on because I'm not hearing what's been said here.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, well, if I go, you'll know what's happened. You know,
he's gone for more food. That's where
it's quite slow.
Yeah, it's not for the big buffet.
You've been proud of me this morning. I was in the gym at 7 o'clock this morning.
Jesus,
nice. Going to the gym every morning.
I want to say pick up to
just walk into. Don't do anything. Just go into it.
I want to say big up to Richard Pugh for joining us. Big up and
Akimi. Akimi be a good one.
Yeah,
that's my gym. Look at that. That's my gym. That's 12 kilos. That is. That's flipping heavy.
Very good.
Oh.
If you are enjoying what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button. It got here saying I saw some Hakimi rumours today. If only this was true. Look, we won't know until
PSG.
Yeah, it would be a good one. I was pleased with that one.
They're paying him a wedge, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave Clark's put, do you realise that it's going to take that long to get the Deadwood out of this club? That Conte won't be here. Look, that's the problem. We've got Deadwood that we need to shift, and we can't shift. So, Philip, where do we
did you ever see anything as bad as? Well, did you ever see anything as bad as Eric Dyer yesterday? I mean, I know Eric Dyer's had bad games, but he was. I couldn't believe yesterday. He couldn't even. He nearly scored the own goal of the season when he hit the ball back to Hugo. He was like a rabbit caught in the headlights every time he got the ball. It was absolutely brutal. And it was savage. I mean, I think he's done himself out of the World Cup place with the England team after that performance. To be honest with you,
I wouldn't pick him. I think I saw Philip one of the banana splits probably played better yesterday than Eric Dyer would. To be fair, I mean that's going back.
Oh, I'll tell you, one of the mascots would have played better. He's serious.
I mean,
Ellie, no, it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
No,
did you see the Danny Blanchflower interview I posted on our site with Parkinson?
Yeah,
very incisive on how football was going even then. You know, even in his era.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's very good.
What was it? He wasn't allowed to have a ball, and if he was allowed to have a ball, he was known as a troublemaker.
Yeah, and he said that. He basically said that he was told to train without the ball. And he said, well, I won't know what the ball looks like when it comes to me. That's a good Irish quote, man. He was such a good...
Oh, yeah.
He just told them as it is. Look, you're expecting me to train without a football. What are you talking about? This is the game of football. It's ridiculous.
Oh, dear.
We got Dave Clark saying
he's a troublemaker.
Yeah, we've got Dave Clark here responding to what Richard said. It says it's really simple. We buy rubbish, can get rid other clubs buy top players, and if they want to change styles, they can sell players for big money, which is absolutely true. Yeah. We've got Tom saying we've got Virgil van Dyer. which is very good. I like that. We've got acknowledge its history. Catman Jess also put, I fell in love with this club. I was young because of many different things. One of them was the history of the club and people like Sir Bill Nicholson. Look, I mean, the club will make more fans of it, and they will do. Tom's agreeing with you, Philip, about the Deadwood. Deadwood
we still got.
I mean, you can name Eric Dyer, Matt Doherty. Matt Doherty came on yesterday, and I don't think he tried one forward movement. It was all sideways.
He passed back all the time.
Sessignon was getting the crosses in, but they were so inaccurate and so overhit every time. There was no one on the end of it.
I know.
Where do I start? I thought the Suma looked very good. Harry Kane must be thinking, what the hell have I let myself in for here? Really?
Yeah.
You know, again, he nearly saved us with a goal and he played well. Who else? Sanchez. Bambi on ice again.
Yeah. He did
Hugo
one good
Lloris.
ball, Sanchez. He did one good ball. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
he'll come back. He'll come back.
Look,
it's the return of the Godfather.
Yeah. We've got Dave Clark Ellie saying the greatest player ever to play for this club was John White, followed by David White. Look, I agree with you 100% there.
Yeah.
I put Jimmy Greaves ahead of both those.
Yeah.
I put Jimmy Greaves in the top three of those three.
No,
I put Glenn Hoddle, the complete footballer, footballer who can score goals, can pin a pass, elegant,
and playing goal as well.
I just love Glenn Hoddle. I can't put anyone above him. Sorry,
Look,
that's
John
me.
White, for me, for what I've seen, was the 60 version, I think, of Glenn Hoddle, because John White could ping a pass.
Yeah,
John White was called the Ghost. That's what his nickname was.
I know.
Because
I know, but I never saw him play. I've just seen clippets of him, and I think he was brilliant. But I just don't think he's as good as Glenn Hoddle. Sorry, sorry, Glenn Hoddle, you're my man.
Cole was the best player on that pitch yesterday. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, had a lot of energy.
Right, we've got a few questions here, Ellie, that you sent me, which I want to ask, but this is more for the comments. We won't be going for too much longer because we've got Ellie's show at 7 tonight, the ladies' show coming at 7 o'clock.
So I look forward to that.
Yeah, we're going we're going to split this questions into our Newsbeat show on Wednesday. So please get us in what questions you would like to know. But look, where's the first one here? All right, here we go. This is the first one you sent me, Ellie, and this is from the interview we both watched for CONTE given Sky, and this is something of where the questions come out of it. I'll start with you, Philip. Where in the food chain log, swapping up World Cup players, how do we? I'll let you read them out, Ellie, because my glasses are playing.
Right.
So you read
Where are we in the food chain log, snapping up world-class players? How do we seize the power to get into the top echelons of league football? How do we seize the power? What are we going to do to do it?
We're a third world country as far as that goes, I think. We are a third world team, the equivalent of a third world country, because our owners won't lash out the money. Basically, that's it. If you pay the money, the players will come. They're not prepared to play. They'll haggle over £2 million. Get new owners. Because the present owners aren't going to change it. Unless, of course, this Google or Amazon money comes in and is given entirely to the playing side of the stadium, of the team, or the club. But the problem is they're going to get 25 million a year. 25 million a year wouldn't buy a third-rate fullback at the moment.
I
know.
know.
The prices are going. You need to get that money up front, doing that 250 million. Then we could do, if 250 million, you could do some damage. But there's no way we're going to get that. So unless, my fear is this, that Harry Kane is going to be sacrificed in the summer to Bayern Munich to fund other players coming in. And if we don't win anything this season, I think Harry Kane will actually be open to a move. And let's face it, he'll be 31 years of age without a trophy. He will, I think, we can't blame him. We couldn't blame him for it if he did want to go.
Philip, I'm going to, this is the
We'll
first time I've
done this. Hopefully that doesn't happen, because without Harry Kane, we're in trouble.
Yeah, this is the first time I've done this on any stream I've been on with you, but I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I actually am. I don't think he will move. I think, look, I'm sort of on look, and we've got to see what happens in January. We got to see what happens then. I think if
we buy strongly in January, that will help.
It will. I don't think Harry will go to Bayern Munich. I don't think he wants to go to the Bundesliga anyway. I think if he was going to go anywhere, I think it would have been to another Premier League club, because I don't think he wants to uproot his young family to a foreign climate, to be fair. And I think he loves Spurs. I think he wants to finish his career with us.
Oh, he does. He does.
The German climate
I hope you're right,
is
Jeremy.
similar
I
to
really do.
Yeah,
the German climate is similar to ours.
Look, I've watched a lot of the Bundesliga this year, and I do follow RB Red Bull Salzburg. They're a great side, great fun to watch, but their fans are nutcases. I mean, they're absolutely lunatics over there. I mean, they got flares, they got flags. And I was thinking, could the South Stand be something like that? There's flags everywhere in some of them grounds. It's like, Jesus Christ.
So remember the Leipzig?
Yeah.
The Frankfurt fans were the same when they came to our ground there a couple of weeks ago.
Oh my God,
I hope you're right about Harry Kane. I hope you're right about Harry Kane. I don't want to sound gloomy and despondent because that's not usually my style. But something yesterday got to me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was the Bill Nicholson thing. But I began to think, I look at things a bit more pessimistic than I normally do. Now, that could change if we win on Wednesday. I hope it will change. Yeah. But I just feel Harry's ambitions probably are greater than the club's at the moment. And I just feel the club has to match his ambitions by bringing in players that are good enough to help us win trophies.
Yeah, we've got to hold on to our star player.
We've got a question here from Darren Wimbledon. Is it Wimbledon? If I got that right, Ellie?
Darren Wimbledon. Yeah, Wimbledon. Yeah.
First time in the chat. So
Darren.
And welcome to the channel, and we hope you enjoyed the content we've got coming up for you. And please get more questions. These are brilliant questions. I'm going to put this one to you first, Ellie, and then we'll go back to you, Philip.
Yes.
Ellie, saying, given where we're sitting third, how happy or unhappy are you? Conte said he needed 2 more windows. Now, just to add to that, Ellie, he also put our debt repayment, us an average of £37 million a year. I put that part to Philip, but the first part I put to you, Ellie.
Yeah, right. So the first part, I'm happy with our position, and I'm happy we're in the Champions League as well, not just the league. But I'm not happy with a lot of the football. I'm happy with some parts of the football. There's a lot of our play which I'm happy with. So other fans don't give us credit for it either. Like I've heard on other channels that we're diabolical, we're this, we're that. I don't think we're diabolical. There's certain players that have played diabolically, but not as a whole. We've had some really good moments as well. You know, like Sonny coming on against Leicester and scoring a fantastic hat-trick. There's the Southampton game in the second half where we pressed them like Newcastle pressed us yesterday. So we have got things in our team that I'm very, very happy with. But I just don't like the old school players being there still, you know, the ones who we've not won anything with.
Yeah.
I want it to be Conte's side, built in his image. Because everybody's saying, oh, Conte's to blame, this, that. Not everybody, but a lot of the channels I'm watching, they're saying they're questioning Conte, right? I don't question him. I think his method is fantastic. But there's certain players that can't do the business, and he hasn't got the right ones in the right place. So what we should have done is obviously strengthening the right places to give him the optimum chance of playing his type of football. So this January is very vital that we get him the players that he actually wants to actually do the Conte effect, and have a team built in the way he wants to play. Yeah, because you can see how frustrated he is with some of our play.
Yeah,
he was having a right go at Bentancur the other day, but he was one of our best players.
Yeah, I mean, Ellie, look, I agree with everything you say. Everything you say
is
spot on. Look, for us to be competing, we have to spend money. We have to get the players in.
We do.
But it's not like, but Ellie, it's not on Philip. It's not like playing FIFA 23, where you can go out and buy the best players and have it done within 5 minutes. It doesn't done like that.
I understand that.
Getting players in
That's
takes
why we need
time.
patience.
And this is where the patience comes in. He will get it. Conte will take us to the promised land. He will get it right at the end of the day. And look, I have no doubt as long as Conte is there, we will be successful. I mean, Philip, look, we've got like Tom saying here, he doesn't like the Newcastle owners either, but it's interesting they haven't spent mad money so far and beat us. Where do you put that on the template of where we are as a club and what Newcastle have done?
Well, Newcastle have spent money, and so far is the indicative word there. Wait till you see them go in a couple of years' time. They'll be the Man City Mark II. I have absolutely no time for Newcastle. Their owners are a brutal regime that should have no place in our football sphere at all. But that's all gone by the window now because Newcastle fans haven't won a trophy in about 150 years, and they see that as the way back.
They're
more or less saying, "Oh, they're worse than us." They'll forget the fact that they're one of the bloodthirsty murderers, and they'd rather get a trophy than stand up to the for the people that these guys have killed over the years. So good luck to Newcastle, but there's blood money that win trophies for them. I would never ever. If Saudi Arabia took over Tottenham in the morning, I would stop supporting them, and that's how much I think strong I feel that. Regarding our situation, 37 million a year. Daniel Levy is cute. Daniel Levy, I've heard somewhere the match day revenue from the bar alone is well in excess of £1 million per match. Add to that the revenue they've got from the Guns N' Roses, the Lady Gaga concerts, the fights, this, that, and the other. Add all that up money together, and it comes to a good chunk of that 37 million. So it should not affect the playing side of the game much, and that's not taking in the revenue receipts from every game, which are massive anyway. So the 37 million, while it sounds a lot of money on paper, it's well managed by Tottenham. There was no evidence of any struggling to make the payments or anything like that. We have the money. It's just a case of using the money and spending it in the right directions, i.e. the team. And that's where the mindset of ENIC has to change. If they want to be successful, they've got to splash the cash. But obviously they're not. They've done it up to a point, but they've never done it at a level that satisfies the fans.
Yeah. And as Dave Clark says here, and I think just sums it up completely about yesterday, all Newcastle did was put up a shift, put a shift in. Yeah, but sadly, that's enough for the teams to stop, and that's all they did. They put a shift in.
Yeah, but I disagree with that.
Too predictable.
You know what? I disagree with it because
hang on.
Chelsea. Go on.
No, go on, Ellie. Go on. Sorry.
I was just going to say I disagree with it. Sorry, David, but Chelsea put a massive shift in against us, and we came out with the 2-2. Right? It's not about that. It's about attitudes on the pitch and mentality. I think it's because they can work harder than us, but we've beaten teams that have worked harder than us this season.
We probably would have won. We would have won that match yesterday. We would have won that match yesterday only for Hugo's mistake. That knocked the stuffing out of the whole team.
Yeah.
Look. It's Philip. It just wasn't one player's mistake. It was Dyer. It was Sanchez.
Oh, I know it was, but we were.
Yeah, but Dyer done a lot.
We were playing okay until they scored.
Yeah, we were on the front foot. We were on the front foot.
Yeah, I said it in my fan cam yesterday. Once that first goal went in, our heads dropped. It was like it knocked the stuffing out of us.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Well,
it's like their heads dropped. That's where the mentality comes in.
Look, I didn't put the subscribers link in because I was waiting for one of these people. Look, welcome to a Tottenham channel. I'm glad that you've got this in your head.
I'm rubbing it in.
Yeah, can I just say welcome to the best channel in the world, right? I'm glad you can actually find time to watch a Tottenham show.
Thank you.
So fair play to you. I'm glad you've come in. I'm glad that we're entering your headspace as a fan base, that we were in there, that you want to watch a Tottenham stream. So fair play to you. Welcome.
Rent-free as well.
Rent-free as well. So all I'm going to say is today is to do 13 league titles you've already won. Well, let's going to say this. You play on a Thursday night. We don't. We play on a Tuesday and Wednesday night. So go away and go and watch Coronation Street and Emmerdale. Hang on. Go and watch Coronation Street, Emmerdale Farm, EastEnders. Let us know what happens because we can't watch it because we're playing on the Tuesday and Wednesday night. Anyway, see you later.
Yeah. And plus the fact, I think how far ahead of Arsenal are they 5 points ahead of us at the moment?
No,
Yeah.
5 points
they're
ahead of us.
oh, hold on. Yeah, they are. They're 5 points ahead of us.
Right, well, I mean,
Yeah.
we made up 4 points in 3 matches last season, so I think we can make up 5 points in 28,
Yeah.
29.
Yeah, because you're bad to cock up.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Starting yesterday, your performance against Southampton in the second half was pathetic. And Bakary Saka, he should be on Strictly Come Dancing and doing the odd bit of diving around the place. Because
and as for I think, can I just say, guys? Can I just say as well? Lego sales have gone up by 50% since he's been on that All or Nothing. And I wonder if you can tell me, AFC, are you still playing You Never Walk Alone? And having photographers come in to do your team talks? Just let us know. But let us know what happens in EastEnders and Coronation Street, because we can't watch it because we're playing on a Tuesday and Wednesday night.
No, so that's true. That's true. Yeah.
And Dermot, I think they're going to change their red shirt with a liver bird instead.
I still can't get over that. Like, he actually played You Never Walk Alone. I mean, what are Jesus? I mean, that's like it's like Conte playing I don't know, Blue Moon, Man City plays, Blue.
The liquidator that Chelsea play every time they come out,
Yeah,
dear.
We've got Dave Wimbledon. He says, "Great answer, Ellie. We've seen some good football under Conte. The team is underdeveloped, so we shouldn't judge them too severely." Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Darren.
I'll do the YBS salute.
Yeah, Andrew Gregory. How many more managers are there? How many more managers are the likes of Dyer and Davis going to throw under the bus? Quite a few till we get rid of them. We've got here. We're going to miss out AFC because he's still deluded. Right. Sorry. Why are you typing all in caps? Do you think it makes you look better? Yeah, he's going back to Richard. He probably doesn't know how to type, so he has to type in capital letters because he's probably in playing with his Lego at the moment, trying to build.
It's very
like Philip said.
Very annoying. I hate it.
Yeah, you said it means they're shouting it, isn't it, Philip?
Gypsies from south of the river. Gypsies from south. I like that. Gypsies from south. Yeah, we let you into North London, but we'd like you to leave now. You haven't paid your rent, so please go back to where you come from.
Yeah.
We've got Kuva99, who hasn't been in this chat for a little while. So big up, Kuva.
Kuva.
I just also want to say, I said last night that we had a good window. Kuva says we had a brilliant window. Kuva, I can't remember what I did yesterday, 5 minutes ago. So I can't remember what I said in the summer. But look, it's a good window. I'm sticking to that now and end the story. But I hope you're all right. He says, the trouble is we have no answer when bantered about trophies. I'll let you read this out, Ellie, because I'm going to stress on you.
The trouble is we have no answer when bantered about trophies. Directionless ownership, directionless on the pitch. How is 2 to 3 windows going to fix this when we still have dross from 10 years ago? Should we hand that one over to Philip?
I think so. I think we need to give it to the Godfather to answer.
I've got my answer.
So fine.
I take Kuva's point there that he's depressed about the situation. We all are, right? But I think we've got to look on the bright side. If Enoch wants to be successful, they're going to have to unleash the purse strings. They're going to have to back Conte because he's the best chance we've had in years of getting and going. Okay, if they don't back him, we're going to end up with the likes of Dyer and Davis still in the team, and we'll just have 12 months. But the only change is Conte won't be here. Conte will not be here.
Yeah,
he is going to have to be backed in January and June. As he said, he needs 2 to 3 windows. He had a reasonably good window in the summer, not perfect by any means, reasonably good. It's going to be better in January, which is always a difficult month to get players. I expect the July one to be absolutely scintillating, right? And then we can see whether Kuva's right. The 10-year dross will be long gone then. And we'll have direction because Conte has Levy over a barrel. If Conte leaves Tottenham, right, that Daniel Levy's reputation, bad and all as it is amongst everybody he comes into contact with, is going to be absolutely ruined, because he had the best manager he's ever had almost, and he let him go. There's no excuse for that.
Right.
So the ball is in Levy's court now, absolutely in Levy's court, and he has to play ball with Conte or face the consequences.
Yeah. Well, this is my answer to your question, Coover. Look, I said at the beginning that I'm going to give it this season. I'm going to stick to that. But you look how Paratici has got control of the footballing side of players coming in. With last January, we bought in Romero and Deke. That changed our season. Them two players, Kuvaseski, got us to the Champions League.
And Bentancur.
And
Bentancur.
We had a good summer where we bought wisely. I think we bought Jed Spencer, who is a Conte signer. I don't think it is a Levy signing, but that's my own opinion. I think we need to give them a chance and give them see what they do in January. January is going to be a big pointer to what's going to happen for the rest of the season and next summer. I think Conte's in it for the long haul. I think Levy knows this is his last chance with a decent manager, so I think he's got to back him in some shape or form. I think having Paratici in there helps as well, because he has been a don, but people seem to forget the mess Hitchin left us in. People seem to forget when we wasted the bail money. People seem to forget when Hitchin left our club, we were in a mess. We had no decent scouts, no decent youth academy, and Kuba, you told me that as well. We have one of the worst youth academies in the country. Paratici's had to knock down the whole house and build a new house under the image of Conte and Paratici. Let's give them time. Let's let them complete their work. And I'm going to give them time, but January is going to be a big pointer. January is difficult to buy in. I agree with you, Philip, as well. But you've got the World Cup. Some surprise little gem might come up. We did that with Ozzy and Ricky after the 78 World Cup. So let's see. January's going to be a pointer. But I think times are changing, and I think the club are changing. So let's see what happens. Let's give January, and then we'll take it from there. Ellie, do you want to say anything to
Lads, I'm going to have to. Ellie, I'm going to have to sign off here now. I'm being called here for, I think, 2:00 or 5:00 with you. No, so you're back on again on Wednesday.
We're doing Newsbeat on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right, we'll see that day. So send me the link, and I'll join on that on Wednesday.
All right.
Okay. Sorry, I have to go now, lads. But come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.
And be careful of DMCs.
We're not worthy.
I'm not gonna call him the Godfather. He's the man. He's the Irish man of the high seas. That's what he is.
Yeah, he is. Right. So what I wanted. Big up, Philip. Yeah. There he is.
There he is, back again.
Sorry, I can't switch off here. It won't let me out.
All right.
Hang on, I'll get over here in a minute. Sorry about this.
So
technical problem here.
What I wanted to say
switch
about
off
it.
here.
Hang on, I'll take you out. There you go. There we go. Oh, hello.
That's better.
As well.
You can't get rid of me. That's all right.
Me to do that.
I'll stakes in. Right, what I wanted to say about the matter is that, can you bring the question up again, Dermot?
Yeah,
I want to address it properly.
Yeah. And let me find it.
Right, Alexander Hilton.
There we go.
Steak and chips and mushrooms.
Yeah.
That's my favourite meal, actually, but it's heart attack football. Right, the trouble is we have no answer when bantered about trophies, directions, ownership, when to submit when we still have drop sponsors. Right, so what they've done, they've got a plan, right? So they've got rid of half of that 10-year shite that we have. So they've shipped out half of it. Now they've got to ship out the other 6. So I think they've shipped out 6, they need to ship out the other 6. Once they get those other so I don't think the January window is the be all and end all. I think they've got to get rid of those 6 out and replace them with the 6 in the positions we should have got in the summer. We should have addressed the positions properly. A centre back, a right wing back. All right, we've got Spence, but Like, I don't agree with you, Dermot. I don't think he's Conte signing because he's already said it. He's already said it. It's the club that wanted him, right? And he hasn't played him, so that's proof in the pudding, right? So, well, he's played him 5 minutes here, 2 minutes there, 3 minutes there, right?
Yeah, but Ellie,
And
look, can I just say
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it from the horse's mouth. He's actually said it.
I know, but what I'm saying, you say he hasn't
signing.
played him, Ellie, right? The thing is, he had to get right. It's the same with Basuma. They had to get up to how Conte wants to play, how Conte plays his system.
Yeah, that's
the
what I'm
player
saying.
in.
I agree with you, Dermot. So he needs to ship out these other 6, Dyer, Sanchez, right? They're the main 2, right? And then you've got who else you got? Bloody hell, I forgot. Right, so you've got Dyer, Sanchez, right? You've got Lloris is one of them. He's got to ship him out, right? Because we've got to place him with a goalie that can actually play football as well. And then you've got Davies. That's 4. You've got probably Tanganga's one of them, even though he hasn't made the thing. He hasn't made this. He hasn't made the grade, has he? So I think they're going to ship him out. They even tried to ship him out against but AC Milan sent him back. And then you've got Winks who's coming back. So that's the 6. They already sort of shipped out Winks, but he's coming back. So we've got 6 more to clear, and then replace them with 6 Conte signings. Actually, his signings.
Yeah, apparently
we know Kulu was, and we know Bentancur was.
Yeah,
and we know Richarlison is. Because he likes to Avery.
Yeah, apparently Winks is going to Everton for 25 million. That's what.
There you go. Okay, if that happens, brilliant. 25 million in the coffers to spend on someone that Conte wants to replace. We need a creative person. We actually need 2 creatives, a right wing back, a centre back, and that's 4. Then we need 2 more. We need another backup striker, because I think Richarlison's prone to injury as well, and he's not even playing him as a striker. So we need an out-and-out striker who can get goals from the bench, and then I think we need 1 more left wing back. Because if Longleg goes, we haven't got anybody else.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
Yeah.
Look, we need to get through some of these comments, Ellie. We won't be going. We actually will be ending off soon because we've got Ellie's show at 7, so we need to get ready for that. We've got Bob Spur. No, your comments have not been blocked. It's just that we've just had a load come in, so we're a bit behind get to them. So I apologise.
We never blocked you, Bob Spur. No way.
We apologise for that. He simply put failed. Their so-called businessmen have taken over a football team, is competitive environment and failed. Rose tint it all you want. 22 years states they have failed. Fair enough.
I've already said that. 22 years of drop.
Yeah. Kuba's put, Dermot, I'm not forgetting all the crap that's gone before. It's exactly why I don't see us changing. Where we never do Dyer and Davies should have been gone at least 5 years ago, but we need to look, I'm going to agree with that, Kuba. Yeah, I agree with that. We should have got rid of them, but look, with this here, but look, we'll see what happens on that. We've got Tom saying that's over 30 years ago, Dermot, and I love you to be right, of course. Big up, Tom, and big up, Kuva, and big up, Bob Spur as well. We've got Wembley One put, it would never occur in a million years to leave Ian in it to even attempt to pull up a Notty and Ricky signing Kubas to 78. It's not remotely in the DNA. Yeah, that fair enough.
Because they're not football scouts, they're businessmen.
No.
They don't know.
Comments blocked. No, Bob Swear. We just read them out, so we do apologise about that. We're just running behind the comments. Richard Pugh here. This comment now, I've been bang on about Spence. Spence will come good. Look, for me, Spence is the next Kyle Walker. You watch him once, he will fly. And then
he's got all the attributes to fly.
Yeah, and then we've got one of these funny things where that needs to be blocked, so I'm going to block him.
What is it, a porn hub?
Yeah, you know you've made it when you get them in the chat, Ellie. Do you know what I mean?
Made it. Come on.
You made it. Everyone's saying hello to Bob Spur. whoever we
Hello,
lose.
Bob
Tom
Spur.
saying, whoever's big up Bob Spur. Mick saying, big up.
I'll give a kiss to Cooper as well.
Big up
They're my
Dermot and
men.
Ellie. Just got in from work. Big up, guys. We've got Richard here. Winks for Everton 25 million. Yes, please.
Yes.
We've got Andrew,
Brilliant.
Gregory. All the defence needs upgrading apart from Mero. Because Richard said,
Yeah.
here comes the spam. Of course, yeah, here comes the spam. And then with last one, we've got Darren Munson. How do we compete without successful business management behind us? Look, that's for another debate and another show,
Yeah.
which we
We'll have to
will
get
be
Dawn on that
continuing
one.
this on a Wednesday. I didn't want to take the show this way, but it seems the chat have guided us, and I think it's been a really good show.
It's good that it's guided us that way.
Yeah. And then we've got the, I don't know who the Renaissance. On what basis are we making the assumption that Spence will come good? What's the evidence based on which one we draw?
I like Rez. That's Rez.
I know, yeah.
Rez.
Look, just me personally, I just think he will turn out good. And then Kuva, always a big one back at you, Ellie. Yeah. Well, look, we're going to end there now. We've got Ellie show coming.
Somebody fancying me.
Yeah, we'll end it on that.
Yeah,
we'll end it on that one. But listen, I think we're back later with Ellie show. I think it's today or tomorrow. I need to double check something in the back room for that. But look, thank you all.
I think we'll have to do it tomorrow, Dermot, because you're not ready on your thing, aren't you? We'll have to do my show tomorrow.
Well, we'll see in the back room, but surprise people with it. We'll surprise people with it.
Either way, today or tomorrow, I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow we've got the post-match show, the pre-match show for
Sporting Lisbon.
Sporting Lisbon. Wednesday.
Which my brother's given me a free ticket for, by the way. I'm so happy. So I'm going free of charge.
We've got Ellie. We've got all of Ellie's stuff being put up on the channel from a trip from the Newcastle game. We've got loads of other things coming up there. We've got the pre-match, we've got the watch-along, we've got the post-match, we've got the pre-match then for the Brentford game, not for the Brentford game, for the game at the weekend. And then we've got the watch-along for that, and we've got the post-match. So we've got loads coming up this week. We're back on Wednesday with Newsbeat, where God knows where it's going to take us. Darren, Wellington McCoy's, big up Darren, big up Richard, big up the Resonator as well. Big up Jack Goff, big up Bob Spur, big up Goover, and anybody else, and Andrew Gregory, Mick Harmlock, Tom Markadov, who else? Wembley One as well. Great to see you back in the chat. Alexander Hilton, David Clark, and all the other people in the chat that have put in chat to do this show. Thank you very much. It's all very appreciative. I don't know if we've gone over the 700 mark yet, Ellie. I haven't checked, but hopefully we have.
I'll check in a minute. I'm just sending you all the videos from the game now.
Yeah. But thank you very much for working. We're now going to bounce out. Me and Ellie are going to go and do something in the background. But so come on, you Spurs, in Conte with trust. No, not like that, Ellie, please. We're not that type of show. We'll probably just now clip that and use that for something. I can see him doing it. But listen, we're back tomorrow at I think the pre-match show is on. We're back tomorrow anyway with Queen Ellie Toybia's ladies show at 3:00. We're back tomorrow night. So come on, you Spurs, in Conte we trust.
Come on, you Spurs.
We will be successful.
Conte, we trust.
And Conte will take us to the promised land. Mark our words.
Come on.
If it'll work.